Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and today I want to talk about my writer/author goals and dreams. I made a video like this when I first started my channel 3 years ago. I did not rewatch that video before diving into this because I'm sure it's very cringy. It's less than 5 minutes, but I just didn't want to torture myself. And I made that video when I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just starting to get into the writing community and taking my writing a lot more seriously. So I don't feel like that video is accurate anymore, and I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about the goals and dreams that I have for my writing for the next 3 to 5 years. Also, I'm sure this is bothering some of you, but I just wanted to point out that when I was editing this video, I noticed I had a water stain on my shirt. Don't worry, it will eventually fade throughout the video, but I just now noticed it and it's pretty funny. Before we get into it, I feel like it's important to talk about what I mean by goals and what I mean by dreams. So in my quick 5-minute Google search, this is what I came up with for goals and dreams. According to Google, how do you define a goal? A goal is something you want to achieve. It's the desired result that you or a group of people plan and commit to achieving. Put it simply, a goal is a dream with a deadline. So what is a dream? I found this very beautiful website that compared the two for what are goals and what are dreams. I'll leave it linked down below. I have no idea if it's a good, credible website, but it was how I felt about the goals and the dreams and what I wanted to talk about today. But according to this website, a dream can be described as a series of images, thoughts, desires, or emotions that pass through your mind. It's a wonderful thing you can create in your imagination, most often related to your future. It's something you wish and hope to achieve someday. It's aspirational rather than tangible. And I feel like those two definitions are perfect for the goals and the dreams that I've set for myself and that I want to talk about with you guys today. Now that we know what goals and dreams are, in my quick 5-minute Google search, let me talk about the reasons why I wanted to make an updated video. So I did post a video July 24th, 2020 to be exact, and a lot changes in 3 years. You learn more about yourself, your writing craft, your potential, and what you think that you can and can't do within a certain time frame. Being a lot more involved in this community opened my eyes to what is realistic and what isn't realistic for me. I want to be a traditionally published author. When I first made this video back in 2020, or a similar video back in 2020, I wanted to be a self-published author. And again, I was still very new into the writing community, into the whole book world, publishing world. I didn't know, basically. So whatever I said in that video, we're tossing it out, and I might say similar things, but everything that I'm going to be saying in this video is going to be a lot more realistic and where I stand right now. So right now I am 26. I have been writing consistently and taking my writing a lot more seriously for about 3 years now. I feel like that gives me a much better idea of where I see my writing in the next 3 to 5 years. And I also wanted to make this video because I know I have a lot of people who are following my writing journey, and it's been 3 years, and some of you might be like, oh, what the fuck, are you ever gonna publish? Or am I ever going to get to see anything that you write? Like, what's going on? So I wanted to make this video just so we could sit down and we can chat about it, and let me know down in the comments what your goals and your dreams are for your writing career. I gave you guys the definition of goals according to my 5-minute Google search. What these goals necessarily mean to me, that these are tasks that I want to work towards and things that I know if I work hard enough, I will be able to achieve them. This will vary from person to person. What I think I can achieve will definitely vary from what somebody else will think. I'm basing my goals right now off of where I'm at currently in life. I am also understanding that these goals are not going to be instantaneous. These are going to be goals that are going to be taking place over multiple years. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about these goals. These are definitely not things that I'm expecting to happen within the next 6 months. 3 to 5 years, this is what we're talking about, and then we can check in and see how well I have done. I also kind of consider these goals to be things that are within my control. So, you know, I can prioritize my writing, or I can prioritize other things. Keeping in mind that these goals are things that I am holding myself responsible for, things that I can change myself. And so for me, dreams are exactly that. their dreams. They can come true, they can't come true. The way I see dreams and view dreams are, if you work hard enough on your goals, you could eventually reach your dreams. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. But dreams are things that are unpredictable, pretty much. You can still work really hard on your goals and you never reach your dreams. And I feel like sometimes people get dreams and goals confused. A lot of us sometimes think that, oh, I just want to reach this dream of mine, but we don't set realistic goals and achievable goals and those tangible goals in order to get us to our dreams. In this video, I'm hoping to share goals that are going to be achievable and that hopefully one day they can reach my dreams. Now, that was a very, very long intro. So let's go ahead and get into the rest. So let's go ahead and get into these 3 to 5 year goals and dreams. But we're gonna start with the goals and let you guys think about what these dreams are going to be. One of my goals for the next 3 to 5 years is to get one of my writing projects at a stage that's ready for somebody else to read. And when I'm talking about projects, I'm talking about my novels. My novels that are going to be chunky boys because I write fantasy. Writing fantasy and creating worlds and characters and magic systems, all of that takes time. And they're things that I don't want to rush. To me, good writing does take time. I mean, I can just write words down, send it off, hit the button, and that's that. But I take pride in my writing and I take pride in all things that I do, all of my hobbies, all of the things that I do in life for my writing. I want to make and polish my stuff the best that I possibly can before I send it off to CPs and betas. And when will I know I'm there? I have no idea, but I have 3 to 5 years to figure that out. The next goal on this list would be to get feedback on my novels. I have never shared any of my work with any of my writing friends, so I've never gotten feedback on anything. I am excited to share my projects, but also to get feedback on my work because I know it's not going to be perfect. So I'm ready for my critique partners to critique my work, to tell me what's wrong, to tell me what I need to work on, tweaking some things, and getting other people to look at my writing, even though I want them to critique my work because that's the only way that my writing is going to get better, is to have people critique it and tell me what's wrong with it. But I also want to share my work so my CPs can be like, oh my gosh, I loved this scene, and hopefully they'll like a few more scenes than just one. I want to share good quality work with them, but then I also want them to take my writing to the next level. The only way that my writing is going to get any better than what it is now is to share it and to get feedback on it. But I certainly don't see that happening anytime soon with my projects. So with getting feedback from my CPs and betas, I want to apply what they share and all of their feedback. I want to apply that to my writing, and I'm assuming that it will be a lot of information that I will have to change, I will have to tweak, because I'm still very new in writing novels, and if this is going to be the first time I'm sharing my work with other people, hopefully I've at that point would have shared short stories or poetry or something with other people. I have had the experience of getting some type of feedback, but it will certainly be the first time that I'm ever getting feedback on a chunky piece of work. I want to work on applying their notes, their feedback, their critiques to my manuscripts to make them even better. And then with that, I want to get one of my projects, at least one. We're just shooting for one project within the next 3 to 5 years. I'd love it if it was more than one, but I can't put that stress on myself. You know, there's no reason to be like, I need to get all 3 of my projects ready to go in the next 3 years. One project. We're just working on one. Whatever it's gonna be that ends up taking the reins and getting me through. For this next goal, I want to get a manuscript query ready, and I want to be doing research on querying. I want to find agents that I'm interested in, people that I think I'll be able to connect with, and that will feel just as passionate about my stories and my potential in my writing career than that I have, because I do have hope in my writing career and in my stories. And so I would love to meet and have an agent. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're just trying to get queried. But I do want to get a manuscript that's query ready. So that is a lot of research, digging around, trying to find agents, and just learning more about the publishing industry in general, because I know next to nothing about the publishing industry, indie or traditional. I did mention this at the beginning, but I am more seeking for traditional publishing. I think traditional publishing just works better with my lifestyle, so I would prefer to just stick to trying to get my work traditionally published. Finally, the last goal is to send out my manuscript to agents and query. That's the last goal on this list, is to get a project out there, hit the button, send it out there into the world for hopefully an agent to snag. Those are all my goals. I mean, I feel like they're all pretty self-explanatory. Getting a project to my CPs, getting feedback, applying to that, rinse and repeat a few times if necessary, researching agents, building a query letter, and then sending off a query. All of those goals feel like things that I can do within the next 3 to 5 years. So now let's move to the dreams. Y'all need to understand something. My dream for my stories is to have an impact, hopefully positive, but I will take any type of emotional impact. I want to have that kind of impact on as many readers. What's up? I'm vlogging. You good? I can pause. Okay, I'm back. My partner came in looking for cookies. Where was I? Okay, so we were talking about dreams. I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. We were about to get really deep and very philosophical there for a second. I need to find my way back. For me, my biggest dream is to have an impact, preferably positive, but I would take any type of emotional impact. I would like to impact as many readers as possible. I mean, yes, it would be nice to sit on panels. Yes, it would be nice to go to book signings and things like that. But as a writer slash an author, touch as many lives as possible. You know, I mean, we're only here for a short amount of time. I want my writing to mean something to somebody else. And my camera battery is dying. Oh my gosh, what is up? This video is cursed. So with us understanding that that's my biggest dream, that to me means everything. And I want them to be like, oh my gosh, I read your book and it changed my writing, or it changed the way I look at fantasy, or if it's going to be a different genre. I want that positive impact. Even if I never know if my book impacted somebody, I would be okay with that too. There's a saying, and I can't quite remember exactly what it is, but it's something along the lines of do good even when nobody is watching. I kind of feel like that with my writing. I want my writing to mean something or to impact somebody even if I never know about it. That is my biggest dream as a writer. So with that being my main dream of all time, that is just, that ever happens, I will cry every single time. But with me saying that, that also means that my work has to be published. I want to be traditionally published, and I feel like no matter what road you go, with indie publishing or traditional publishing, it's a tough road to go on. In order to achieve that dream, I would have to be published. I would love that to be a dream, whether it's 1 book, 10 books, 1,000 books. I would like to be published one day. And I think it would be fun to sit on that other side and to then help other writers and other authors. If some of these other writers have followed my journey, like my YouTube channel before I was published, and then they got to see me afterwards, I would hope that my journey would motivate them. It would be something that they would aspire for themselves. That would also be a dream, would be, you know, to help motivate other authors and be like, oh my gosh, Autumn did it, then that means I can do it, because that's true. I mean, I am just a normal person with a full-time job. I write on the side for fun. I make videos about my journey. So for somebody to feel inspired by my journey, that would just be a dream. And I guess that dream wouldn't necessarily have to be me getting published. I would hope that you would find inspiration and motivation from my videos, just following this chaotic writing journey. So I guess we're gonna be working backwards here. I just talked about in order to reach my biggest dream ever, I would have to be published. Well, in order to get published, I would have to get an agent. That is a huge dream. Like, such a huge dream that if it ever happened, my soul would leave my body, and I don't know if I would ever know if it was real. In order to get an agent, somebody has to be interested in my query or my stories, whatever comes after you submit something to agents. Pretty much everything in the whole publishing realm would be a dream for me. So an agent being interested in my project or my query, whatever I was querying at the time, whether it was a rejection, because there's gonna be plenty of those. That's feedback. It might not be a lot of feedback, but it'd be feedback. I would also be okay with if they wanted a little bit more. I know sometimes they can request like a full manuscript or whatever, so then you send that off. And even if it didn't make it past anything after that, that's still amazing. I mean, that's still the furthest I would have ever gotten in my writing journey. And that's a dream. You know, I want to keep striving towards these things. But of course, I have to reach my goals first in order to get to my dreams. We're still like working backwards. This whole section is just all over the place. But I kind of got a little thrown off when my partner came in here looking for cookies, but it's okay. One of my dreams is to just experience the whole traditional publishing, getting an agent, going on submission, selling my book, going through the whole process of working with editors, working with a marketing team, working with cover designers. I would just be on cloud 9 if that all ever happened. And those are all definitely dreams because I don't know if I will ever get to that point, but it would still just be an absolutely amazing dream. And so another dream would be we make it past all of the publishing. There's a wild chance that there's an autumn novel out in the world and another published author blurbs my book, or they tweet it or they share it on Instagram and they're like on the back of my book. I would just be like, yo, you read my book. Little old me in Southern Georgia, you read my book? Is that allowed? Is that a thing? And so I also mentioned that I would love to do this too. Book signings, sitting on panels. So I went to Y'all Fest this last November. I went into a few panels and got to see some other authors sitting up there and talking to aspiring authors like myself. They were just amazing. They were all just so humble up there. And a lot of them were like, we're sitting up here, but we don't even know why. I loved seeing that. So I would love to eventually be on a panel and have a published book out, talk about my writing and talk about how my journey led to me being there and just sharing as much knowledge as I possibly could. I wouldn't even think that I would have that much more knowledge than I do now, but I would love to help as many other authors and young writers as I possibly could. And I would love to go to book signings and meet people who are interested in my books. I have waited in lines for book signings and it's been hours. If I was on the other side of that and being the author and having a whole line of people that's like 3 hours long who are waiting for me to sign their copy of my book, that would just be a dream for reals. I think that would just be so fun to meet other young writers or avid readers and then be like, oh my gosh, this part in your book I freaking loved. Hopefully they would only say nice things if they were gonna be waiting in line for a couple of hours. Hopefully they wouldn't be like, so why'd you kill off this character? But they might. People are pretty bold out there. This also kind of goes full circle back to wanting to touch as many lives and have as big as a positive impact as I possibly can. There you have it, my friends. This was a very, very long, crazy, chaotic video talking about my goals and dreams as a writer slash author. And if you're confused about my definition of an author or a writer, I consider myself a writer because I don't have any work published, but some of these dreams would be if I was ever an author with published work. I guess technically the goals would be to, if I was ever a published author, I would just love to keep writing and writing and writing. But that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know if you liked this video. Let me know what your 3 to 5 year goals and dreams are for your own writing journey. Let me know how your journey is going currently right now. Even though we have goals and dreams way in the future, that doesn't mean that we can't be excited about the here and now. So let me know what projects you're working on and let me know all the things. I hope you're all doing well. Again, I am Autumn Ashley and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.